Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Welcome to episode 153 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Cult TV Man and Sean's Custom Model Tools. I'm one of your hosts, Stuart Clark, and I'm once again joined by the two finest podcast hosts a guy could have the pleasure of working with. Actually, they weren't available, so we got Terry and Geoff instead. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, it's fine. I mean, radical truth is my policy.
There you go. And that first voice you hear, of course, is Terry Measley from West Chicagoland. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty well. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Looks like it's actually turning into pre-spring.
Let's hope.
So we'll see.
I'm tired of this cold weather, I tell you. And then, of course, fresh off his world tour of breaking more walls down, breaking down silos, etc., Mr. Geoff Highland, how are you?
I'm tired. I'm really just tired. I'm so sick and tired of so many things right now.
Oh, I know, but
we won't talk politics.
We won't talk politics. But you know what? Let's start on a high note. Tell us about your shirt.
Yes, I'm wearing a T-shirt that my daughter gave to me some time ago, and I have not been allowed to wear it in public. But it basically, I've seen them. They're around all over the place. But it's basically an airplane, and it says, "They're not toys. They're model airplanes. There's a difference."
Very true.
So there you go.
True.
But I can wear it here with us.
You can wear it here.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you can wear it at the show.
No, I have to wear like IPMS stuff at the show or podcasting stuff.
Yeah.
At the
Well,
show.
That's true. All right. Well,
That
we'll have to take a picture of you in it sometime, and we'll show the fans, because all your fans want to see what it looks like.
No, anybody if you see a picture of me, you don't want to see it again. Let's put it that
I
way.
tell you. There you go. All right.
It's such a flattering angle with your laptop on your
And
lap.
it makes my belly look like five
I
times
know.
bigger than it normally is.
That's all right. You've worked hard today, so you've been taking down walls and all that good stuff. So
Oh, I tore out walls, and I actually built a couple of walls. So
and none of them were obviously load bearing walls, because you're still here.
yeah, they're not load bearing. None of them are load bearing. I'm trying to build another bathroom, so it's been entertaining.
It's been entertaining. Are you going to do your own plumbing?
No, I'm trying to get the plumber to come in because he's inexpensive and excellent at doing what he does. So I want him to come in,
Excellent.
and I don't want to bother doing it anymore. I'm so tired of that.
No, I don't blame you.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thanks to all our Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee supporters, as always, patreon.com/scale model pod. And check out our What We Like page for lists of what we like, including reading stuff and all that. And we have something in the mailbag in a minute I'll talk about with our what we read section. But first of all, latest news, stuff happening coming up. The 48 and 48 hour build over in the UK, but it's a worldwide thing, fundraiser for Models for Heroes, the UK equivalent of Operation Vet Build. That starts Friday, 7:30 your local time for 48 hours on March 14th to the 16th. You don't have to have a 48th scale kit, but you just have to build something within 48 hours. There'll be a lot of Discord chat rooms, a lot of online engagement, stuff like that. So I'm planning to I picked up a Sherman Firefly in 148th, one of Tamiya's newest armor ones from their, well, it's not that new actually now. It was one of the first they released, but still.
Mhm.
That
It'll
should
be
be
new to me.
doable.
Yeah,
That
that
should be doable.
That's what I reckon. I've got a 35th scale Sherman Firefly, so I figure why not, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then of course, coming off the tails of last week, of course, Heritage Con 17, the big show where we get the band back together, March 23rd. That's going to be exciting. We're looking forward to that. And of course, the Mooseru Cup will be announced.
Yep.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Or yeah,
That deadline is next weekend.
Next
Yeah.
weekend, Terry's working away at it. We'll talk about that a
Yep.
little bit later on too.
Hmm.
Okay, the mailbag. So we got this one from Tyler. Hey guys, not really sure how often you guys get feedback on the literature section of the podcast. Literature. God, aren't we
Uh,
smart?
I know. My God, we're so intelligent.
I tell
Literature.
you. But I wanted to reach out and say thank you. I just recently finished Chris Hadfield's the Defector, which is one on my to-do reading list. And
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
worried about where I would get my next space fix. The Apollo series he created is amazing from my point of view. Baxter will scratch that itch. Keep up the great work, and that's from Tyler. So, well, we're glad you're enjoying it.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to start trying some of those Baxter books you guys keep talking about.
Oh, they're great.
They
Yeah,
do
I'm
sound
I'm
really good.
surprised I didn't know about him because I had read Stephen Baxter for
Yeah, I
decades.
I
Hmm.
don't know how I missed it either, but
Yeah.
there you go. You
There's
know.
just so
Well,
much out there, right?
Yep.
So much good stuff.
So
well,
if you
you know what? I'm just glad to hear that somebody out there is listening to us. So thank you, Tyler. That's really good.
Well, that's good. So if anyone else wants to have a comment on our either our literature section or any other section of the podcast, feel free, scalemodelpodcast at gmail.com, or you can always reach out on our Facebook page.
And to your point, Tyler, people do. I have been told numerous times. Yeah,
There you
thanks for
go.
doing that. It's very cool. Get some good ideas. I'm like, and if you guys have good ideas, please send it in.
Yeah.
Please send it.
We
We need
we're looking for good things to read too. So
Yeah.
give us some ideas. That'd be great.
One of these years, I'll actually keep track of how much stuff I read in a year and watch,
that can be
just to,
scary. Goodreads is handy for the reading part. I don't know if
mm,
there's anything. There's probably something for watching.
yeah.
You know what?
Probably.
At a certain point, keeping track of what you do detracts from actually doing it. It's sort of
Well, yes and no, but you can say, you know what, there's nothing out there to watch. And like, there's too much out there to watch.
there's
Yeah,
There's
too
too much
there's
out there to
way
read. There's too
there's
much
way
out there
too
to
much.
build.
Yes.
57 channels and nothing on.
If
Yeah.
I had clones, I could get a lot. Well, my clones would be watching anime and eating Doritos, so
Yeah, so they wouldn't be.
they wouldn't
Yeah.
be getting anything done.
And
My wife was commenting just tonight because here in London we don't have cable. We just have whatever we can get over the air or through the network, through the internet. And of course, you can get a lot through the internet, but we don't have a
Hmm.
lot of services that we subscribe to. And we've been watching YouTube from time to time to pick up things that shows from the UK that we like and that kind of thing. And we've she was saying tonight, I never realized you can pretty much watch everything on YouTube.
pretty
It's
well.
astounding. It's astounding how much there is on that thing.
It is
And
amazing, and through the rest of the internet, and yeah,
yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
So
there's
that's what we've
other
been doing.
interesting services like IMDb TV. My friend
Oh
Emily
yeah.
uses that all the time.
yeah,
Yeah. There's a lot of really good
Yeah.
stuff and we've got some other services that we probably can't talk about, but that's okay.
that's all right. That's all right. Well, there's between Netflix and Amazon Prime, and
Hmm.
and my wife loves Amazon Prime because she gets to have TV and she gets to order stuff
Well, we
that
had
comes by the
Amazon
box store.
we had Amazon Prime, but that's all been canceled since things we're not talking about tonight because they're political.
Right, right. No,
Yeah.
I get you. I get you. Okay. Well, let's get on. Let's get on with it, and we'll see what wonderful new kits and stuff coming on. Masterbox has 2 new kits in March and April. So we first have from their Napoleonic War series, the Dragoon Regiment of the Imperial Guard, the Battle of Friedland, June 14th, 1807, an officer or a senior sergeant. So you've got a Dragoon regiment, you've got a officer there.
And name the second kid because I find interesting here is the comparison between the two.
Yeah, the drag. Okay, so we'll talk about this one first. Nicely mounted on a horse. Um, they
What
basically
scale
showing
was
CAD
30-second?
view,
Okay.
30-second scale.
Okay.
Yep, yep. Looks like a interesting painting exercise.
Yes.
Okay, and then from the Russian-Ukrainian War series, which they do a lot of, the Buggy Mongoose. 3 figures and a mongoose included. So we've got a Buggy Mongoose, the Ukrainian battlefield evacuation version with a crew. So you've got 2 crew tending to a wounded soldier. Yeah, 3 Ukrainian, 2 medics, and 1 wounded.
And
Plus,
and and, and this is the difference 200 years makes between these two subjects.
yes,
True.
very, very,
It's
very true.
It's amazing. I mean, going to war like that dragoon guy, I mean, you'd just be shot right off the horse in a second. But
Yeah,
maybe not in 1807. The weapons weren't as accurate. But now, with weaponry being so accurate and so deadly, you got to hide as much as you can, and that's the Ukrainian outfit. It's really
Hmm.
quite interesting.
very true. Very true.
They've got a whole series of other ones down at the bottom too. Masterbox does
Yeah, they do a
that
lot of
Hmm.
are
interesting
related to
things.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Trumpeters releases in March. They've got the battleship Ohio, which is the first time I've seen another Montana class battleship by a mainstream manufacturer.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 1/350th. The Montanas were supposed to subsequently replace the Iowa class, but as the war progressed, they realized that aircraft carriers were far more important. So yeah, there was actually, I believe, two hulls put down, but they were canceled fairly early.
Hmm.
So the Ohio was the second one, I believe, in the construction order after the Montana. So
It's
yeah,
fascinating. It's fascinating just looking at the build pictures, how much anti-aircraft weaponry was installed on these
yep,
things.
yep,
Which gives you a clue as to what's the dominant weapon class at this
yeah.
point.
Well, and again,
Essentially,
go ahead.
you've got 16-inch guns, if they're 16s,
Yeah,
The
and
16s.
anti-aircraft guns.
Yep.
That's what you've got.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was
And
designed to have much greater firepower and air defense than the Iowa class without losing too much speed and replaced with a new generation of fire control radar.
mm,
Mm,
Yeah, so
interesting.
yeah, one of the things was the Iowa class were designed as fast carrier escorts. That's what their main role was.
Hmm.
And these, everyone always would have loved to know what happens if a Montana comes up against a Yamato.
yeah,
They said it
Yamato.
right. Yamato.
Yeah,
Yamato.
you were close. You're
Yeah.
very close. Yeah,
There
you
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 go.
haven't been pronouncing it enough lately, so you're
Obviously, I'm
losing
out of
your
practice.
touch.
I'm losing my
Yes,
touch. Over a
exactly.
thousand parts, hull made from two directional slide molds, deckwood panel pattern finely rendered, contains the display stand, photo etch parts, two float planes are included. This is a big kit, 80 centimeters by 10 centimeters,
That's
including
big.
a metal anchor chain. Yep. And as you
I
can see,
noticed that the model, it's labeled here, the model built up by Trumpeter's in-house model builders. I wonder if your job was to build models, how fast it would be before you'd hate building models.
well, exactly. One would wonder. At least you don't have to worry about painting,
Yeah.
Yes, that is a bonus, I
but
suppose.
there is an awful lot of photo etch on there.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know,
And
if you
finicky photo
well,
etch
if you
too.
look, they've got like for the 20 millimeter Oerlikon guns, they've got like shields for them, and they're made of photo etch.
Oh God.
Tiny, tiny things. Tiny,
Hmm.
tiny, tiny,
Photo etch
tiny.
is your friend.
Yep. And then next up, we have an Mi-35 Hind E from Trumpeter. This is a Russian helicopter manufacturer. It's an export version of the Hind. It was initially produced in 2005, so it's a more modern one. The
Hmm.
Hind design's been around for quite a while.
Long time.
Yeah, a lot of weapons, masks are provided with the kit. And it's also operated by several other countries, including Venezuela, Azerbaijan, Nigeria, Kazakhstan, and Mali. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Nice. Looks nice.
opening fuselage, etc., etc.
It's good that it comes with masks.
Oh God, yeah. I'm not masking that greenhouse by hand. No way.
No.
Okay, Hobby Boss. Two German subjects this time. A 48 scale Bf 109E, the Emil, and a German, we'll start with the German Panzer IV, the Ost J medium tank. So this was the Panzer IV, designed by Nazi Germany in the late 30s, used extensively throughout the Second World War. This one has kind of the armored skirts all around it. Looks like we have a desert scheme, a Russian schemes, two different schemes.
Hmm.
Are these new or are they
And
repops?
whitewashed.
Good
I
Can't
point.
tell.
don't know.
I don't know if they're
I can't
repops or not.
imagine the ME 109 in 148 scale is new.
For Hobby
There's so
Boss,
many.
I kind of
There's
doubt it.
yeah,
No.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's probably a repop.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then we're moving on to that. So we've got Adolf Galan's machine, the highest scoring ace in the Second World War.
Yep.
And we've also got Hampton Hans von in August 1940. So two schemes, again, masking, thank God. So yeah, this is the
I
Emil.
kind of like I like the E. It was the earlier one. It was the, small little thing. Didn't hadn't been had all these things clapped onto it by the as you get to the
Mm-hmm.
G's.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very much
Yeah.
so. All right, I found this one. This one was at Hobby Zero. I like this. Field guns of different countries, more like the size. The pre-orders are open. So an American 6-inch gun model 1905, a French 155 millimeter model 1916, and a Crump 15 centimeter Canon 16 by Krupp.
Mm.
So
You wonder.
pre-orders are now available.
My first thought when I looked at this was, okay, it's interesting how each of these three use different measurements. Like, for
Yep.
example, the U.S.
Hmm.
uses imperial, the inch. French and the Germans both use metric, but one uses millimeters, the other uses centimeters.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like
It's interesting.
it's all marketing. I'm sure it's all marketing.
Yeah.
Sounds bigger.
But
Ooh.
Well,
but hey, yeah,
the sprue shots look fabulous. 3D printed, the 3D printed.
Oh, I love the subjects. These are great.
yeah,
Yeah.
get your field pieces. It's
Yeah.
time.
And First World War too, so they're really complicated and weird looking.
Yeah,
Kind
and
Yep.
of
the
fun.
limbers and everything. Yeah.
Steel
Yeah.
wheels, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. Yep. Some
Those
nice
would those
unique
would those would be
camouflage.
those would get nicely bogged down very quickly, wouldn't they?
Well, of course. All right, something that's not going to get bogged down if it gets down in the mud because it's going too fast. Tamiya's February release, the 124th Renault 5 Turbo Rally car in 124 scale.
I don't know if you can bog something that light down.
Yeah, that's
No.
my point.
I love
So
it.
this is a special version developed for rally racers, 1.4 liter inline four turbo engine in place of the rear seats. The turbo had a midship setup and was equipped with reinforced four-wheel independent double wishbone suspension. It was a three-door hatchback's body, lightweight aluminum plastic panel, so it was light too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was a significant departure from the original Renault 5. And the works car won the first global rally of 1981 and was a familiar sight near the top of timesheets thereafter. So nice looking. It includes the
I
driver and navigator figures.
I love that they've got all the little the stickers that you would normally have on a rally car.
Yep.
But I immediately looked at it and I immediately thought it was called a Renault Elf. Just the way they right on
Yeah,
the
just
front
the
of
way the
Yep.
elf gas. Yep, exactly.
Hmm.
It
Anyway,
probably runs as fast as an elf.
fast as an
Yeah.
elf.
I love
There's
in
a
the
mark.
related products, all the other rally cars.
Hmm.
Very nice.
That
Okay.
Alpine Renault.
Oh, I know.
Love it.
They make some good stuff. Okay, something that could get bogged down because it's bloody huge, especially in 1/16th scale. The Trumpeter's releasing an SD KFZ 165 Hummel and you heard me, 1/16th scale.
That'll be big.
That'll be very big. I saw the ScaleMates entry and I didn't see any other news about it. So,
Hmm.
but yeah,
16th is the new thing. And I did look at that Hobby Boss 109. It used to be a Merit kit.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. But this one is brand new. This
yeah,
was a new
brand new tool
tool.
coming in 2025. I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
hear more details about it
All these
eventually.
16th scale stuff.
Jeez.
They're tanks, so they're not like an airplane big.
Hmm.
Lands, yeah, as far as footprint goes, but still.
They're still big.
Yeah, they are.
Yep,
They're
exactly.
they're RC big, basically.
Hmm.
Basically, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're back into that.
Oh, but what's the next one?
Oh, the next one from our good friends at Model Factory Hero, where you mortgage your
Oh
house,
no.
Mortgage your
buy a
house.
car. One of my favorite Ferraris. This was the 95 412 T2 that ran in the Canadian Grand Prix and it won the
Mm,
Canadian Grand Prix. So 112 scale, so they're coming out with that. And I'm
nice.
sure it's going to be big bucks.
Oh, it's Model Factory Hero.
You can build Gene Lacey or Gerhard Berger's car. Gene won the
Thought
race, Berger came 11th.
it's kind of like the wingnut wings of Formula Racing
Well, yeah,
models.
we know that.
Yeah.
It's going to be frightfully expensive, but I saw that and we had to share.
Oh, of course. Beautiful.
All right. Now here's something I think you might like, Geoff.
Oh, you know what? That was the one thing I focused on when I saw the list.
Yeah,
This is
from
nice.
AMP in the Ukraine, the
Yep.
Northrop M2-F3 lifting body,
Yeah,
Nice.
always nice.
1/72nd scale.
Ooh, tiny.
Yeah,
It's going to be small.
it'll be small, but you can sling it under a B-52.
$30 US by the looks of it.
Yep,
But
Yeah.
that's a pretty constant scale for all those X-planes. So
yep,
very
Hmm.
nice.
exactly. Like I said, Jeff, you'll have to get a B-52, just like our friend in the club, Kevin, did.
I have two of them.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
then you
Now you can sling one underneath.
just
Yeah.
need magnets so you can swap out which lifting
Yeah,
body you put under it.
that's
Well,
true.
but they'd all need, you're right, but they'd all need different attachment pods,
Well,
right?
that's why you
So
have the
the
pylon
magnets,
attached to
the
it.
pylons.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So you can just swap out the pylons.
Mhm.
Yep.
You can
There
hang
you go.
four of them.
A what if?
Oh, what if? There you go. There you go. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, next up in the Machine and Krieger universe, the Art Plus coming out with a new model, machine 135th scale Machine Krieger Kangaroo. You get it as a pair, but if you get it through our friends at Hobby Link Japan, you get special decals. So this is the Straw Army's multi-purpose large armored combat suit. The PKA Kangaroo will be released as a 135th scale injection kit
Nice.
by Kaido. So it combines the fuselage with the PK Aussie Gustav with the landing gear and engine section of the Crete. It was developed for the recovery and resupply of friendly units, and the mechs used by the engineer corps are equipped with an Examir laser. I assume that's a good laser.
Yeah.
So, and I know people are very excited about this one because people have been waiting for this one for a while, and you get two. And like I said, you go to HobbyLink Japan and get it, where I have the link here. You get an exclusive decal sheet, and they also get you a special Kangaroo edition of Hobby Highlights, our magazine.
And there's a
There you go.
there's an early bird pre-order price
And
too.
it's an early board pre-order price.
6,300 yen. I don't know what
Lower.
that would
It'll be
be.
lower than the standard retail price of
Yeah.
6,300. I always say it's like one thousand, so like
Hmm.
$63
One
roughly.
one
Oh, okay.
hundredth. One one hundredth. Yeah,
One
it's
one
the
hundredth. Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
1/100th. Not
One one
$6,
thousandth would be quite a
63.
bargain.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would be. But yeah,
Yeah. Nice. Interesting.
nice looking kit.
Fun.
I'm sure. I wonder if our club president Frank will get this.
Well, we
I
got
can see it.
3 or 4 guys in the club would be
Yeah,
all over
that's
that.
true. They'll be all over it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have Zimi Models. They picked up some of the molds from Kitty Hawk and Panda.
Okay.
So they're going to be releasing some of those, but this is all new. This is a U.S. weapons loading car kit in 148 scale, so modern. So, you want to do a diorama with like your F-35 or your, you know, F-16 or your F-15 or your B-52.
Mm-hmm.
If you're crazy enough to do it in 148th scale,
Hmm.
there you go. I like how all the pictures show them loading like B-1s and B-52s.
Yeah.
So you get a munitions trailer, two of them, munitions transporter, two of them, a lift truck, and a aircraft aerial munitions lift truck.
They look impressive.
Yep.
As
Like
a
a deep.
special bonus, the first production batch will include 3D printed sagged wheels as a
Ooh,
limited
Oh,
launch gift.
there you
And
go.
you know those wheels are going to sag.
they're gonna sag.
Yep, exactly. These CAD renders look very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And you
and
got
down
some
at the
photo
bottom there's
etch.
some finished
yeah. There's some
Yep,
builds. There's some builds
build
there.
ups. They
Really
look
nice
there we
great.
go. They look good.
and fully painted and everything. They look
Yep,
great.
fully painted with the photo etch.
Yep. You can see a few of those, I think.
Yep. And the set will be ready to be shipped globally and will be a major available as early as late April from your manufacturers. And of course, they have a website on there. We have the link from our
Hmm.
friends at the Modeling News. Pretty cool.
Very nice.
Okay, Terry found this one.
Yes.
You go ahead, Terry.
I saw this pop up a while ago. Hobby Boss is releasing another interesting ship, Lord Clive in 1/350th scale. This was a monitor class
Yeah, I was
gunship.
gonna say it looks like a monitor.
Yeah, but they
Mhm.
replaced the rear guns. It was a pair of, I want to say, 8 inchers, or whatever the British equivalency is. But the rear turret they replaced with a fixed position, so perpendicular to the ship's axis, 16-inch gun, which could operate in azimuth, but it couldn't. You'd have to turn the ship to actually send it somewhere else, and it was designed to be a shallow water bombardment ship.
Wow.
Cool.
So
Released she and her sister ships were released during the war, but really late.
So if you
So,
fired one of those things, does the ship just turn turtle and then come right back up again?
well, it's a monitor, kind of a whaleback sort of things. Not
Yeah.
quite, or they may have been. Um, yeah, so it's at the rear, so it's gonna yaw and
And
pitch.
It's
18
gonna,
inch gun, 18-inch gun.
18 inch.
Yep.
yeah,
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I
that's
had done some reading about them because I'm like, what the hell is that?
that's
I
a
like
weird
it.
looking.
The
Yeah, I do
gun,
too.
I'm just
So you
reading
get
here. Yeah, I'm just reading here about it. It could traverse 20 degrees, but the gun shield was fixed. The entire mount weighed 384 long tons. But the
No,
total weight of the ammo, equipment, and supports nearly doubled this again.
no kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So very interesting. It's like the HMS Rodney, a whaleback um,
Yeah,
gunship in World War II.
I
Yeah.
always like the Rodney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Neat
the
ship,
Rodneys are good. One round
neat
every
lines.
3 to 4 minutes.
Gorgeous box art too. Wow,
Yep.
that's a beautiful painting.
Yeah, it
Gorgeous.
is. Like I said before, box art's fantastic now. For
Yeah,
the most part, it's quality. They're
yeah,
paying the money for it.
Yeah.
and and box art sells a kit, frankly, too, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, I don't generally build ships, but this and the Rodney are both really tempting.
Yeah, because they're odd.
They're
They're
because they're oddballs. Yeah.
yeah, they're
Like
oddballs.
the like the armed tugs that would go out with convoys and such, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
in 350th scale, they're like 3 inches long.
Yeah,
There
that's funny. That's amazing. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
you go. Alrighty, let's go on to Scalemates. Let's see
Deep
what's
breath, everybody.
new
Deep breath.
tool, full kits only. We start on March the 3rd with a 124 Ford scale Falcon. Looks like
That's
it's
a Ute, though. It's a Ford Falcon
Falcon
Ute.
Ute. Yes.
You gotta there. You know what? One of our we're going to be doing our club show this year, and the theme is birds of prey. And so when you say it's a 124 scale Falcon, you got to be careful and describe what Falcon you're talking about. Is
The
it the
Ford.
Millennium
The
Falcon? Is
Ford
it a
Falcon.
Ford Falcon? What year Ford Falcon is it? Is a Ford Falcon Ute, for God's sake?
Yeah, exactly. From DDA, 124 scale.
Hmm.
Then
So
Iron.
they have a whole series of Falcons looking down the product timeline.
Yep. Yep.
Phase
Some
two,
some
phase three.
designer had a Falcon when he was younger.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding.
My dad worked at Ford Talbotville, and that was the first model they built there.
Wow.
Falcons back in 67,
A
68.
Ute.
Yeah. Okay. Iron Shipwright says a few more things. USS Permit class nuclear subs and Tench class. So they have the long haul, which is the USS Jack SSN 605, and the short haul, which was USS Permit, the ship, the named class SSN 594, and Tench class submarine, circa 1945. USS Tench SS 417. I think you can pretty well get every submarine now in the world in 350th scale, thanks
And
to
that's a
these
nice
guys.
scale for them too.
Yeah, it's a good scale. We've got a Polish tank, the 10P, in 72, 48, and 35th.
Hmm.
We've also got from
Trucks.
trucks in all three scales again, 72, 40, 43rd, and 35th from KEP models. Looks like they've added some inventory there.
Yeah, and dogfight with these
That
tractors, these
that's interesting.
autocars.
Those are interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
That RAF tractor is kind of cool. The
Yep.
Commer Q2. I'd never seen that
72nd,
before.
48th, or 35th. Among models got their CB-16, the Leon, Chinese aircraft carrier, 1/700th.
Hmm.
More from Dogfight, the Humbers, utility cars.
Oh,
Just
look at those
what
buses.
the
Yep,
bus is great.
they're
Yeah.
sort of buses. Yeah,
Yep.
The Humber 4x4
yeah,
utility car.
love it.
How about this for a company name? Pimp My Miniatures.
Yeah.
Village House Shed Corner.
Pimp my
Uh,
miniatures.
and then just above that, the Cabo Oger from Yak Hair scale models, 1 to 1/44th. So it's some sort of patrol boat.
Mm.
Includes a Dolphin helicopter.
Yeah.
Whose whose ships are these?
I'm not sure.
Foudre class. Sounds French almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Defender, with the Defender class, I think that's what the Coast Guard uses for harbor patrols and stuff like that. Yeah, Care scale models.
Yeah.
That looks like something because like you'd see in New York Harbor when the president flies
Yeah.
in and stuff like that. I think the Coast Guard and the Navy operate those.
Oh, the Defenders, a little
Yeah,
Zodiac. They're
yeah,
Zodiac based.
yeah. They
Yeah.
usually have a machine gun up front, and yeah. How about Stalin's Sledgehammer, 1/72nd scale from Ace, 203 millimeter howitzer. That would be a big thing if that shell came your way.
You wouldn't notice it.
No, you wouldn't know what happened. Leander Cross frigate from the UK, Yak Air, 1/350th again.
Yeah. A Russian
Interesting.
aircraft set,
Yeah,
1700 from Pitt
yeah,
Road. I guess that goes with aircraft carriers or
with
something. Well,
carriers, yeah.
or dire. I don't know. Who knows?
And we have some young Japanese ladies. We'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll pass. Hey, there's the Gesundheit in 1/700
The
scale.
Gesundheit, the Gusnow,
We
Gesundheit.
shall.
1/700. German armored cruiser, 1908, 1908.
Yeah. That's kind of funky looking with the four
Yeah.
stacks.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
those pre World War One and World War One stuff was always kind of cool.
Hmm.
All right, next up we have what else do we have here? Moving down to the 27th. Looks like some what is this? Mass production model raid. Oh, it's a Gundam of some sort.
Oh,
Mass
it's a
production model.
Gundam
It's
of some
it's
sort.
it's one of the Evangelion
It's
mechs.
Evangelion, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of interesting looking, this one. This is
Yep.
different.
Yeah, kind of wild with like giant
With
wings.
with a big what was the dual bladed blade that Klingons fought with?
The Bat'leth.
Baloth.
Yeah, this looks like a nice rounder version of that.
There you go. And then a couple of Luft 46 subjects. Blumenvoss P20803 and the Blumenvoss 211.01 in 1/72nd scale.
These are always fun.
Oh yeah. Always.
They'll be
What else do
tiny.
we have here? How about a British tank destroyer? The STT Vulcan. I think that was a paper panzer.
It kind of interesting looking though, just
Yeah.
looking at the
Yeah.
box
Just
art.
looking at the zoom. Made in Bulgaria. Giant bloody gun on top.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yep.
Tiny little peephole at the front of the barrel though. It's a big honking barrel with a little peephole coming out
Almost
the end.
certainly wake up the neighborhood. Okay, February 26th. Armor Models making an eggplane of the Soviet Mishka bomber.
It,
Stalinet's 80 crawler from Red Iron Models, another tractor.
Nice.
And there's our Model Factory Hero.
Yeah, there's your big Ferrari
Thanks, Ferrari. Moving on, looks like a lot of mecha on the 24th.
from Bandai.
Yep.
Yep.
And then another British heavy tank on the 22nd. Flying Elephant Design B.
Okay, this one caught my eye for sure.
That's not going to
Look,
fly.
look, it's an upside down bathtub for God's sake.
Yeah, it's only going to fly over a cliff, maybe.
Flying elephant? Really? Pigs might fly.
Pigs might fly. How about a Nashville class PGM gunboat from Hellenic ship models in 1/50th on the 21st.
Very nice.
And then I think we're getting down to where we were.
Starting to, yeah.
There's the
The
Lord
combine
Clive. Yeah,
combine harvester and
yeah, the trolley bus, etc.
yeah.
Oh, there was one on the 19th I wanted to point out. Someone you can get 1/2700th scale models of TIE fighters for
Oh my
your
gosh.
2700 scale Ventnor class Star Destroyer or other Star Destroyers.
oh yeah, for the
Can
Venators.
you imagine how tiny those are going to be?
Yeah.
You sneeze and you'll lose it. Or you accidentally breathe one in.
Wow. And then they've got a new tool Venator class, the
Yep.
Star Destroyer.
Yep, same scale.
Same scale. So there you go.
There you go. All
I've
right.
always wanted one of those. They've
A
been-
Star Destroyer?
yeah, well, the Venator. It's
Oh, you
kind of
want
a
one of those? Okay.
well, it's got red on it. It's one of the few with color on it.
Well, we'll have to keep our eye at Heritage Con for you.
Yeah, I've seen them done really well.
Yeah, I have too. They're really cool. Very nice.
Very cool.
All right.
All right, another cool guy. Cult TV Man. Let's see what's happening there. Let's see what's new for March from our good friends at culttvmanshop.com and culttvman.com. We have a bunch of pre-orders I see Steve has here. He has the Conga, the King Kong figure, 1/35th scale from Monarch Models, $64.99. We have the pre-order of the Lockheed P2V7 Neptune 1/104 scale from Atlantis. That's a box scale kit. That'll be for $22.99. Another box scale kit, the H-16 helicopter 196 scale from Atlantis. You can also pre-order your Aztec Strange New World USS Enterprise decals for $39.99, as well as the Cerritos lower deck decals in 1/1400 scale for $57.99. What else do we have here? Always interesting things. Cronus 1 detail parts, 1/350th scale from Lake Monster. That'll make your Cronus 1 look even nicer with that kit. $16.99. Some amazing looking detail parts there. Also, for those who don't know, the Black Hole. Remember that movie from Disney? Some of the kits are being reissued, namely the Cygnus, Maximilian, and Vincent. All three of them. The price is still to be determined, but you can pre-order them now if you want and put your reservation in. We've also got the Moon Suit from Monarch Models. That's back in stock for $64.99 on sale. That's 1/10 scale from Monarch Models, as well as always lots of other good things. The other thing is the Red Sonja 1/8 scale from X Plus. You pre-order for $64.99. An absolutely gorgeous from the box art looking figure it's going to be for the figure painters. So make sure you check out culttvmanshop.com and culttvman and let them know the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, what's on the bench? Terry, let's start with you tonight.
Sure. So I'm about to put together the Spartan and then do some finish weathering on that. I'm trying to get the Crusher Joe Harpy in the same spots, so I'm finally painting up the canopy and stuff, so I should be able to get those done. Maybe by the weekend? We'll see. Maybe. Beyond that,
you got to have the pictures done for Musaru by Friday, is it? Did you say?
yeah, and I've got enough pictures. I think I want to try to get one more angle.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky getting angles in a shadow box.
Well, they look fantastic. So
yeah.
by the time I think you publish this, Stuart, the pictures will be
Yeah,
available.
It'll be Saturday night.
Yeah, and I'll have an album available publicly for this, so we can talk about it.
Sure, let's talk about it.
We may as well. Yeah,
let's talk about it.
When I heard the thing was going to be a little German mini sub, which I have almost no interest in, I was always going to do something to it, right? And it would have been a vignette either way. So I was really happy that they wanted to be a vignette, and I had a Reaper Miniatures Kraken that's been just waiting to eat some Nazis. So that's it. And the Reaper Miniatures are in their bones material, so it's a plastic resin, which is thermoset or thermo, which is one that can be redone, whichever one, either way. They can be heated up and repositioned to a point. So I was able to move some of the arms around to do it to a point. So several of the arms are wrapped around this thing now. I made some seagrass. I made a case, a frame, a shadow box. I made a box for it and got some lighting in there. There's 2 sets of lighting in it, and some coloration. So it was originally going to be larger, and then I was talking with Ginny, my wife, and like, where the hell am I going to put this thing? So I'll have to just, have it set up so I could remove it and put it in a smaller setting in the cabinet.
Right.
And she's like, well, we got the shelves that are kind of only partially used in the living room. Could it fit in there? I'm like,
there you go.
So I look at it and it's like, I could make that work. So I had to shave a few inches off the width. The height was unaffected. So this is designed to now just slide right in there. Wow. And it'll be nice. And it'll be in the living room. And I can have just the little the LEDs, the little wire lights. For that, and then turn on the bigger flip
Anytime your
light
better
if
half
necessary.
offers, anytime your better half offers to give up space in the living room, you jump all over it, sir.
Well, she's always happy
That's
to see me do these mythical creatures and such, so
Okay, good.
yeah.
that's always fun. And it's sort of a squid, which is cool.
Yeah,
Re
exactly.
With
Release
the
the
Kraken.
Kraken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a lot of fun. It's all pretty much done in acrylics and inks and things like that. Lots of washes and all that. I'll put some pictures of in progress on there.
I
Um,
I think the judges are going to have a real tough decision on their hands this year. From what we've seen, some other podcasts have posted what they're doing, and I think it's going to be a real tough decision for the judges
Well,
this
I
Good.
year.
think it. I think at least one other podcaster has approached it from a similar position, like
Hmm.
they've stuck a squid in there or something.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. And but anybody who doesn't go that far is going to be in the dust.
Yep,
Yeah. So I purposely had not looked at all at the competition to see what they were doing because I don't need to. This is a competition for you. You're not
Right.
competing against somebody else. It's
Yep.
right,
all your work, right?
And also, you don't want to accidentally have be influenced by
Yeah.
something you might have seen. So
Yeah.
right,
Or
exactly.
or tip your hand at all, you
yeah,
know?
Yep,
I don't
yeah,
want to do that. I would let the guys do, everybody do their own thing.
yeah.
yep.
But yeah, I was never interested in doing anything sort of historical.
Mm-mm.
So,
Well, that's one thing. We've been keeping it a secret, and I know the Modeling Insanity, they've had some pictures. Robert Adams has had some pictures up, but he's had some other stuff he's shown in the build room, but I'm purposely not talking about it.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's their thing, and like I said, I think it's going to be a real tough decisions for the judging this year because from what I've seen, there's some excellent stuff.
Well, to be fair, it's always been really tough decisions. I mean,
Always.
each year,
Hmm.
and I think it just gets better every year. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's about the pictures, right? It's
yeah.
not,
Yeah.
you don't have them in front of you, so all you can judge is how it's presented
Hmm.
Yeah.
on the screen.
Exactly. Exactly. But it'll
No.
be fun. The winner will be announced, of course, at the Heritage Con. So,
Hmm.
and of course, we always wish to thank IPMS Hamilton and Lightspeed Global
Yeah.
for
Yeah, this was a really
supplying the
good
kits.
idea, getting people to step out of their
Yeah.
comfort zone to do a diorama or a vignette.
Speaking of stepping out of comfort zone, I think I'm up on deck next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I am. Great. You watch. It'll be a 700 ship with photo etch.
Well, it was
Or
sort of it was a ship this year,
yeah, it was a ship.
so
Yeah, but they always try and do what they find out who from each podcast is building, and then they try and do something outside of everyone's comfort zone. So
Really? They really do that? Okay.
they try. And that doesn't always work, but they do
Have
try.
someday they're going to probably stick us with a figure or something.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we never know until, like I said,
Yeah, true.
we've got to dedicate our
Well,
thing. But that's all right. I can handle a figure, I think.
Heck, I'm
The
sure we
eyes,
could.
the eyes will look like giant googly eyes or something. But
well, the
Hmm.
tough part would be if it's like a 120 millimeter figure or something.
yeah, God
Oh,
help me.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
yeah. The
whole
bigger
other
it
set of
is, that's a
skills.
whole other. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Oh, no, no, I have the answer. I'll make it in black and white.
Even
That
better.
sounds easier than it
I
is.
know, I know. I realize that. I've seen black and white paint sets, and I've seen some dioramas
Yeah,
and that where the end figures where they've done that, and
You
yeah,
it's
do that.
absolutely amazing.
You do that dynamic lighting kind of effect or whatever it's called.
Yep,
yep.
Where
yep. You can do
yeah,
Zenithal
that as
lighting.
well. Yeah, I've
yeah.
actually played with that. I've done some Games Workshop minis with like
Hmm.
glowing weapons, and I've
Hmm.
been following Artist Opus, and he does a lot of stuff on dynamic lighting, and I did a couple, and I'm really pleased with the result.
That's exciting. That'll
Yep.
be fun.
Okay, Geoff, you're up next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I finished that little Polish light plane that I
Right,
built. And I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. It was a nice little kit. It was an early mold, but it was better than I thought. Plastic was very soft, easy to sand, but also easy to damage.
right.
And but the end result was this tiny little gem of a little plane, which is kind of fun. And so I went through my stash and found an even smaller plane, which is a Soviet hydroplane, a seaplane basically. But it's tiny. It's like a little tiny thumb long main body
Yeah.
with a couple of booms at the back attached to the
I saw the
stabilizers.
picture you sent me. We're going to include in the show notes. It's
Yeah,
tiny.
it is tiny and it is so cute, and but at the same time, it's not very good kit. But it's quite a challenge trying to attach all the pieces where there are no mating surfaces, where there's no guidance as to where anything
Right.
connects into.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're going from the box art basically trying to
I
make
mean,
this thing.
it's a challenge, but a lot of those old kits were like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And even
exactly.
when you got into like classic airframes and stuff, there really were no attachment points. You had to
It,
build your own.
yeah, and it's sort of okay, you know what? A lot of people complain about, oh, the pieces don't fit, whatever. This is our hobby. It's making things out of nothing. So,
Yeah.
Are we not
uh,
modelers?
are we
Are we
not
not
modelers?
modelers?
Damn it. Don't whine. Get back into it. So that was kind of fun. I was really enjoying that. And then um one of the members of our clubs, their neighbor passed away a couple of years ago, and his spouse contacted him to try and distribute his kit collection and his wargaming collection, which is kind of crazy. And
It's still
so,
underway.
yeah, it's still in process, but Stuart and a couple of other members and I went to the lady's house, very nice with her daughter, and went through their collection. And I came away with a couple of kits, maybe two. What wouldn't you say, Stuart? Something like that?
Yeah, 2 to the power of.
Yeah, I think you took a
There is a
terrible
picture,
photograph
but
of
I
me
promised I wouldn't publicize it.
carrying this massive pile. I think I actually wasn't massive, but I ended up taking 15 kits.
Yeah.
But these kits were all 1/72 and smaller scales, 1/72, 144, planes, some ships, some sci-fi, some armor,
Bit of everything.
probably about
Hmm.
300 kits. Not small, not a small little kit collection. And he had a lot of vintage, old, fabulous box art Airfix kits um, from back in the 60s, give or take.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I bought a bunch, and Stuart bought some, and a couple of other guys bought some. And then we took them all. We made a list, and we published it to the club to try to see if anybody else was interested in buying. I've got a fair take up. Um, but I suggested to the club that because of the prices we're asking, they're very cheap, like $5, $10, something to that effect. Um, why don't we have a contest where, buy a kit, buy whatever from your own childhood, something you built when you were a kid, one from this collection, because there's a lot there. Um, and have fun with it. Build it with modern techniques or whatever. And then at the end of the year, we'll get together and you have the box art plus the model in front of it, and we'll have a whole table full of these things, and we'll just take pictures and have a contest to see who wins, and we'll have some kind of a prize. And there seems to be that's popular. The idea
Yeah.
was take picked up pretty quickly by a lot of guys. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be fun.
Mm.
So what was some of the stuff you ended up getting?
I picked up, oh geez, I couldn't remember half of them, but I did get an old, Airfix had those, I think they were like HOOO scale, 176 or something,
Hmm.
air refueling sets and RAF recovery sets that you'd make for little dioramas with your
Mm.
1/72 scale planes. Got a couple of those. I got a Matchbox Victor K2, so I now have two out of the three V bombers. I got a Heller DC-6, which is kind of fun. And I think I might turn that into like a water bomber or something. That looks like
Cool.
it could be fun. A tiny Airfix bag kit. Airfix used to sell these kits in bags so that with your paper money, you could buy a newspaper money, you could buy a kit of a Cessna Bird Dog, tiny little plane. So I'm kind of getting hooked on small planes. So
You
looking
are.
forward to,
You
yeah.
Yeah.
are. That'll be
Anyway,
good.
a bunch more, but I can't remember what they were.
Okay. Well, I picked up several items at the same estate sale, including a 1/700 scale escort carrier, a 1/76 scale A26, and a P61 Black Widow, and several classic Matchbox 1/76 armor kits, the ones that had the little dioramas.
Yeah.
So I picked up a couple of those from my childhood. So I just have to decide now which one of those I'm going to do in the contest. One of those. And work continues on the 148th Trumpeter Westland Whirlwind. Masking's done. It got its first coat of primer and the bottom side gray has been sprayed on. So slowly but surely getting my way through that. And yeah, as we were saying, the gentleman also had a big wargaming hobby, a lot of 1/72nd scale stuff. He had drawers, literally custom built drawers that he
O over
built.
over 60 drawers.
60 drawers across 3 bookcase cabinets he converted.
And the drawers
Wow.
are only about 2 inches thick.
Sure, like a map cabinet.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's like a map or an art cabinet, where
Yeah.
you keep your watercolor papers. But
yeah,
it was insane.
absolutely insane. So we're still sorting through some of those.
Mm.
We'll hopefully get a better idea. There's a couple of Games Workshop items which I think will fetch some good money for the widow. So we're helping her go through that. And one thing that's good is she was absolutely amazing. She's done a fantastic inventory on spreadsheets of these. So that really
Yeah,
helped us. So good reminder. It's worth it for your family's sake. Make an inventory of your stash.
Yeah. I can't
yeah. But
can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah.
this whole event reminded Lynn that I better not leave her like this.
Well, I'm surprised you made it home in one piece after you came waltzing through the door with that stack of kits.
Yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, but I managed to,
You
whatever.
distract you said you're going to get rid of some of the magazines.
I'm going to get rid of some of a whole bunch of things. I'm kind of reaching very quickly the rationalizing my collection
Yeah.
stage. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
We have our swap meet in March,
April.
April, and I think we'll see a lot of stuff there from all of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
The
and
problem
it
is we're all going to be trying to get rid of the same stuff.
yeah, and then we'll see other things we like. So,
Yeah.
I've always been very successful at the swap meet. I've always gotten rid of more than I've acquired.
Uh,
Sometimes the difference is only two.
you see, I've
Like
always been very successful at the swap meet too. I've always acquired more than I've got rid of.
yeah, see, at least I'm the other way. Although, like I said, I've come close where let's say I've sold 8 and I bought 6,
Hmm.
but I'm still negative. So that counts, right? Right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Sure it does.
You're still better off than me. I mean, that was the one thing I was trying to come up with a topic for our March meeting, and what I came up with after talking to you guys was um, let's talk about stashes. Let's talk about how big is your stash? I'll show you mine if you show me yours, kind of thing. And that seems to be popular. A lot of folks are interested in it. And then talking about why do you collect them? What are they there for? Is it
Yeah.
because you plan on building it? Is it a nostalgia thing? Is it uh, was it a deal you couldn't resist? And what are you going to do
Pretty boxes all stacked up.
as time marches on? And you know what? That's just as valid,
Yep.
frankly. I find
Yep.
looking at some of this great box art makes me happy.
Mhm.
So what?
Yep, exactly.
Eh,
So that'll be a fun topic. And I
I
think
think
as
so.
well, because we've lost a few members in the last 5 years and we've dealt with this sort of thing before going through stashes and that, I think some of our members are realizing, yeah, they're not going to live forever,
Yeah, for sure.
you
It's
know.
the topic comes up regularly, and I do think I'm sure every club does this, but we kind of do this as to the extent that we can as a service,
Yep.
to try to help people,
Yeah.
whether they're club members or not. People who have this kind of situation, we'll try and help them move things on to people who will appreciate them.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. What are we reading? I'm still working. I haven't had much time for reading. I've been working on still Stephen Baxter's Traces, his collection of short stories. So I haven't been reading a lot. That's me, Geoff.
Reading? Sorry, what's reading? I
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't.
yeah.
What is this thing you speak of?
Ah,
He's been busy.
I
And
have
then
no
there
time for it.
and then there's Terry making us all look bad.
Yeah.
no, it's not. So my lunchtime read is Adam Savage's book, Every Tool's a Hammer.
Right.
My friend Emily gave it to me, saying she found it very useful and entertaining and interesting. And so far, it really is. He really goes at it. Yeah, his pathway into where he got, but not just that, but what he picked up in his life and in his approach to everything at each of those stages, and
Mm.
then tells you a little bit about it. I've started using a checklist approach at work, and it's ad hoc, but at each task, instead of just writing a task down, you write a little box, and if you
Mhm.
started it, You half color it. When it's done, you full color it
Yep.
in.
Yep.
So you see each of those things and whether you've done them or not, instead of just crossing them off and all that. And it does change how you approach it. So it's pretty interesting.
Cool.
That actually I like Adam Savage, so that
Yeah.
I think I'd appreciate reading that book too. I'm gonna have to
His
look for it.
chemical hygiene's not always great.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
open bottles of methylene chloride kind of thing. But
Well,
you know, your liver is
Boom.
you only get
no,
one liver.
An
nobody's
earth-shattering
perfect.
boom. An
Nobody's perfect.
earth-shattering boom.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
also reading my wife's been getting all these light novels of the anime series she really enjoys and I enjoy too. So I'm doing the latest books of My Happy Marriage, which is an interesting little series and a very interesting companion if you've watched Apothecary Diaries. Check out My Happy Marriage. It's on
Hmm,
Netflix.
Happy marriage
interesting.
is a good
It's
thing in
it's
all
not
forms.
what you think it is
It's
initially, although the marriage eventually will happen.
Spoilers.
okay. Spoiler
Spoilers.
alert. Yeah.
But
Spoilers.
they both feature female protagonists. Pretty impressive female protagonists, but very different ones. And they're one's not a love interest yet. The other one is from the very beginning. But these are two guys
Interesting.
you don't want to piss off.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Heads roll
Interesting.
or buildings burn. Yeah.
Hate it when that happens. Hate it when that happens. All right. Let's talk about our good friend at Sean's Custom Model Tools, who will also be at Heritage Con. Here we
Yep.
go. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the Goodman Super Sanding Blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsole decal set bottle stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so it helps keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those Goodman Model Super Sanding Blocks, namely the Value Pack Combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade to help cut it, and it's really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at Sean'sCustomModelTools.com and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, things we've seen in the category that of under I am not surprised department. Gary.
Yeah, so Chris Meddings, I saw him post. I mentioned it last time. The R2800 engine builds
Mm-hmm.
that are single
Mm.
prints, including the structure, including the mountings. So I ordered some of those. They have an early ones and later ones for the full detail or the not full detail. It's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole bunch of other stuff there. So check it out. I got some B26 parts. I think mostly just the seats because that's a very visible cockpit.
Yeah,
And they look really good. And you can order the seats with or without the seat belts.
they
So you
look
can,
good.
yeah, they really do.
Look at these
Um,
engines. My God.
yes, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, the 3D printing and the people designing the stuff have really changed things. Now, painting something like that, that's interesting.
Yeah, you're
But
gonna have fun with that.
the ones I got, I don't intend on opening up the cowl. So that'll be good. Or if I do, it'll be a panel on the cowl, not the entire cowl removed.
Right.
But these are amazing. Wow.
Double
Yeah,
embossed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I ordered the stuff, and like the next day I had it will ship on X date. I'm like,
Mm.
well, that's pretty cool. Nicely
Very
done.
cool. Very cool.
Oh,
Hmm.
I'm loving this. This is great.
I know. It's amazing what,
There
and
are
I know people have been,
Wow.
there's a lot of stuff out there, and their guys are just doing it on their own and getting the files to places like this. You know, it's excellent.
yep.
Mm.
I've got friends who are very good at 3D printing, but I'll order from these guys and the price is completely reasonable.
Oh, very
Yeah.
reasonable. Yep.
Yep. Yep. For what you're getting. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Exactly. Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Anything else we need to talk about? I think we've covered it.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah, we
covered it.
covered it.
We've covered
Yep.
it all.
I
Well,
think
the
we've
next
we've talked about everything that there is to talk about in modeling
At
in
least for this
modeling.
week. At
In
least
Yeah,
for this
modeling.
week. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
roughly an hour.
In roughly an hour, we did good. We
Yeah.
have one more show before Heritage Con.
Yep.
But I'm just looking at the calendar. That will come out probably
Oh,
when we're in Hamilton.
Probably, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just look at the calendar there. So,
Yep. Yep.
but then, yep, we're going to be down there. We're going to have a lot of, hopefully get some interviews in. Terry's coming up for the show. So
Yeah.
we'll have the gang all there. We'll have some special guests on. We'll do some segments from the show. So it'll be a really, really good time.
Looking
All right.
forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. So for more modeling podcast goodness, check out the other modeling podcasts at modelpodcast.com. It's a consortium website I set up with the other podcasters. You can see everyone's got a different vibe, a different shtick. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and our very own website, scalemodelpodcast.com.
Before you close out, I have a question. At the last show, and I haven't listened to it, but the last show, we had technical difficulties
We
at
had
the end,
technical difficulties,
and Terry
and
was
I
not
left
able to
and
do
I
his
left
sign
and
off.
I left the technical difficulties in.
You did.
Yeah,
Excellent.
just for the heck of it. I
Great.
Yeah.
haven't had a single
I haven't.
comment.
I listened to the beginning, but I didn't listen
Yeah.
to the end. That's where I should have listened to see what happened at the end.
And
Yeah.
our listeners should know that the Stuart froze. Terry and I continued talking. We
Yeah,
realized Stuart was frozen.
then we lost the connection, and then it
We
came
lost the
back
connect. Yeah,
5 minutes later. Yeah,
it was hilarious.
I
yeah.
think by my notes, I was just going to, in some witty fashion, remind people to pre-register for their chance to win at Heritage Con.
Okay.
There
We'll
you
have to
go.
cut
In some witty fashion, you
in
did
some
that.
witty
Yeah,
fashion.
in some witty fashion.
Okay. Now he's
So sorry to interrupt. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
that's okay. That's okay. Now he's got to do it again because for episode 153 of the Scale Model Podcast, my name is Stuart Clark.
I'm Geoff Highland.
And I'm Terry Measley, reminding you to embrace the challenge.
Oh.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you and be well.